Welcome back to Auto Review, where today we're diving into a truly rare and fascinating machine from the past, the 1980 hybrid muscle car. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, hybrid and muscle in the same sentence in 1980. That sounds like a contradiction. But believe it or not, a few visionary engineers and companies tried to blend the brute force of American muscle with the fuel-saving promise of hybrid technology, long before the Prius ever hit the streets. Let's start with the exterior. At first glance, this car looks like any classic muscle beast from the late 70s to early 80s. With its long hood, short deck, wide stance, and aggressive front grille, it screams performance. Think something along the lines of a Pontiac Firebird or Ford Mustang of the era, but with a few subtle touches that give it away as something different. Look closely and you'll notice smoothed out lines that hint at aerodynamic tweaks, a slightly closed-off front fascia for reduced drag, and lightweight alloy wheels that weren't common back then. There's even a small hybrid badge subtly placed near the fender, a quiet signal that this car is hiding something unexpected under the hood. The paint options were classic muscle, deep reds, jet blacks, metallic blues, but with a unique matte green offered exclusively for the hybrid variant to emphasize its environmental leanings. Moving to the interior, it's a time capsule of retro design with hints of futuristic thinking. Slide into the driver's seat and you're greeted with classic bucket seats in either vinyl or optional leather, a dashboard packed with analog gauges, and a big 3-spoke steering wheel. But look a little closer and you'll spot an early attempt at hybrid integration. Next to the speedometer and tachometer, there's a battery charge gauge and a rudimentary energy flow display that lights up when the car switches from electric to gasoline power. These were ahead of their time, even if primitive by today's standards. The interior materials are a mix of sturdy plastics and padded vinyl, with wood grain accents running across the dash and center console. It's a surprisingly comfortable cabin for a performance car, with decent legroom, especially in the front. Rear seats are more of a formality, as you'd expect in most muscle coupes, but they're usable for short drives. Optional features included a tape deck, air conditioning, cruise control, and even a digital clock, luxuries in 1980. There was also extra insulation in the hybrid model to reduce engine noise and promote a smoother ride, highlighting the car's dual personality as both a performance machine and a fuel-conscious commuter. Now let's talk performance, which is where this car gets really interesting. Under the hood, you'd find a 3.8-liter V6 engine paired with an electric motor, the first of its kind in a muscle format. The total system output was around 200 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Now, those numbers might not wow you today, but in 1980, they were solid, especially considering the car could run purely on electric power at low speeds. It wasn't a dragstrip king like the big block V8s of the era, but it held its own in terms of 0 to 60 times, clocking in around 8.5 seconds, impressive for a hybrid vehicle at the time. The powertrain used a nickel-metal hydride battery pack mounted in the trunk, sacrificing a bit of cargo space but offering enough juice for around 20 miles of electric-only range. The system was engineered with a primitive regenerative braking function, which helped recharge the battery slightly during deceleration. The car also featured a special, Eco Mode, switch, which toned down throttle response and prioritized electric drive when cruising. When full power was needed, the gasoline engine and electric motor worked together to provide a satisfying, smooth burst of torque. It might not have had the raw roar of a big block V8, but it delivered a unique blend of smooth acceleration and surprising efficiency. Fuel economy was one of the car's biggest selling points. While most muscle cars of the era were guzzling fuel at 10 to 12 miles per gallon, the hybrid variant managed a combined rating of around 28 mpg, nothing short of revolutionary for a car of its size and performance. That kind of efficiency made it especially attractive during a time when gas prices were rising and emissions standards were tightening. Now, let's talk about pricing. Back in 1980, a standard muscle car would set you back somewhere between $7,000 and $9,000 depending on trim and options. The hybrid muscle car, being more experimental and niche, started at around $10,500. It was a hard sell to traditional muscle fans who valued horsepower over efficiency, but to a small group of buyers, this was a futuristic dream machine that offered the best of both worlds. Today, if you're lucky enough to find one, prices can vary wildly based on condition. Pristine examples with original hybrid systems intact can fetch anywhere from $35,000 to $60,000 at auctions, largely due to their rarity and novelty. They've become collector's items, not just for car lovers but for those fascinated by automotive innovation and environmental tech history. So there you have it, a unique chapter in car history that proves even in 1980, there were people thinking outside the box. A hybrid muscle car might sound like a contradiction, but this bold experiment paved the way for the performance hybrids we see today. If you enjoyed this trip through time, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Auto Review, and leave a comment letting us know which rare classic you want us to feature next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next review.